Kathy life update, take 3. Seriously, I filmed this twice. And, oh, hello, welcome to Spicey Cat Jams. I'm Kathy. I'm here with the much delayed life update for those of my friends who have been here for a while and are wondering, where has she been all summer? FYI, this is just going to be chatty, like most of my videos, but honestly, it's a good video because I'm sure I'll go at least 20 minutes, probably 30, let's be realistic, and I'll just be talking. So if you need to be putting your makeup on, cooking supper, going to the bathroom, whatever it is you're doing, I'll hang out with you for a while and you can just listen to me. No judgments. It doesn't matter because I don't actually get to see what you're doing, so you don't need to tell me. Anyway, third time's a charm. First time I recorded, it was just way too negative and long, and I was still in the bad place, so I couldn't put that out there. Second time, I just recorded not that long ago on a drive home, and as soon as I hit the stop recording button, I got a message, camera error failure, and nothing was there. So let's see how we go. I'm just gonna still do it in my car because it's easier. So today is August 7th, it's Tuesday. Where have I been all summer? Okay, it's Tuesday and I haven't posted Truth Be Told Tuesday, so that's going to post first, and I will be recording it in my car after this. So my one video a week is really all I've been putting up, and I almost missed one, but thanks to Eddie, I did not. So other than that, I think I've put a few things out, and then I've just been MIA. And I apologize to all of you that post videos that I normally watch and comment. As you can guess, I haven't had time to do any attention to my channel. I haven't had time to watch my friends' videos. I have not responded to comments for those of you that are so thoughtful and leave them for me. And for that, I sincerely apologize. I may not be able to. I will go through and at least give you a heart to let you know I read it and I love you. But seriously, you probably already forgot. It was 2 months ago you left me a comment, and you're gonna get a random message that I replied, and you'll be like, what is she talking about? So we're kind of starting fresh slate. I'm deleting a bunch of things I've filmed and not had time to upload, other than kicking it videos. Kim and I did a marathon in July, and I think I've only posted one thing. We did a Truth Be Told that day, and I still have some from our marathon filming in March. So those, because they make me laugh so hard when I edit them, I will be posting them, and you usually can't tell, except by what we say, how old they are. So those I'm going to post, but like my unboxings, my hauls, that kind of stuff, I'm just going to start fresh now because I'm always behind on them anyway, and I know I'm making excuses, but for the most part, these are the videos that I like to make, that I connect with you guys. I get more views on the unboxings and the hauls, but I don't care about, well, I care about views because I care about everyone that takes the time to watch me, but it's not like I am trying to do this as a full-time job. And from that point, I think I've said that before, I do this for fun. I don't, you know, I keep an eye every now and then. I look to see how many subscribers I have or how many views, but it's because it's there when I log in. It's not something I'm trying to like build my channel, because it's not my job. I do have things monetized. Oh, and just to explain for maybe those of you that don't make videos, the reason you get ads usually, like the first, when you first start my videos, and sometimes at the end, is because I do have my videos monetized, because I might get a penny. And how that works is if you let the video play instead of skipping it, I might get a penny. If you actually care about what the ad is saying and like click into it and like go find out about that website, I might get 2 pennies. I don't really know how it works. I know maybe once a year I get a payout. And I just do that because I then use the money. I'm sounding like a YouTuber and I'm not. Anyway, thank you if you watch the ads, and if you skip them, I still love you. It doesn't matter. But where have I been? Already 5 minutes in and I haven't told you a darn thing. So I don't remember what I've said where. Snapchat's still the best way to keep in touch with me. If you message me through Snapchat, I will usually at least get back to you within 24 hours. And I tend to post just my little snippets out there. But even this summer, I've been MIA from there because I have been borderline nervous breakdown, especially the past month. And I just needed to like step back. This wasn't causing me the stress. My life is still abundantly blessed. Eddie and I are fine. Our home life is fine. In fact, he has really, not that, I don't want to say he stepped up because he's a very supportive, wonderful husband, but he stepped in and took care of some of the things that I normally do the past 2 months because I have not had time. And, so, you know, a lot of people do like life updates, and there's like big exciting things like they're having a baby, they're moving, they're getting married. None of those things. Whoville's closed, yanked out, biomedicaled. So no babies. Our marriage is fine. My work has been the issue, and I think I alluded to that maybe a few times, or I've chatted. And I'm going to give you my view of things. So some of you know where I work because you know me offline, or we've talked about it, so you know what I do and where I work. And I've never really shown that or shared it because it really doesn't matter. And we all have work stress, and I have reached the end of my rope at my work stress. So we'll try and do this brief in history. So I was hired for a position over 12 years ago at the company, which is conveniently in the same town as I live, which is a very rural community. So to find a office professional type job in this community that pays decent is a miracle. And it's because we're part of a much larger corporation. So I started this job, and it was kind of, you know, it's like they just more or less created the position. One person had been there for a few months before me. And because of the way I am, that I was raised, I dedicated more of myself probably than I should have to this job. I welcomed the challenges, I took on new tasks, and I built it to be a lot more than I was originally hired for. And I evidently live in a world where the sky's purple. Because in this world where the sky is blue, can you even see the blue sky? No. You can see the flags. I'm over at our park because I just wanted some place where I wouldn't get interrupted. And either I'm the odd duck out, or I know I could never be management, at least in the companies I've worked in, because I don't understand the decisions they make. So really, for me, I don't expect to get, you know, rich. All I ask is for an employer to recognize what I do, pay me a fair wage, have standard expectations, and reward me if I exceed those. To me, that's pretty normal. And I do my part. This is not the way things are. And it's actually this whole company that I work for, their managerial style is not, it's not one that works for me. It doesn't help me. My managers don't mentor me. Basically, they might sign my timesheet. But regardless. So I tried and I busted my butt for years. And I tracked and I provided the detailed information to show that this job they had hired for me is now 2 jobs. It really needs to be 2 jobs because I'm doing all of this, but I'm not doing anything to the level it needs to be. I'm taking shortcuts because I had no choice. You know, I always just was putting out whatever was the biggest fire at the moment, but nothing was ever done correctly. And one of the other challenges with my position, I'm going to say the old position, because, oh, the whole big change is I took a new job. So, FYI. I'm talking in circles, but this is the way I go, and my brain is still very much in recovery. So, I already forgot what I was talking about. So, old job, because the job changed so much from when they hired it for, even the boss I had that hired me pretty much lost touch with what I was doing. And there are multi-levels of managers, so there are actually probably 3 managers that I will refer to talking to. And I sat across their desk from all of them at different points, trying to say how we need to make changes and this position needs to be changed. I can't do it all. And they've all told me to my face they don't know what I do. They appreciate what I do because they get feedback that people tell them, I don't know what I'd do without Kathy. She's always so helpful. You know, I know I can trust her, and they sing my praises to my managers. But all of them don't know what I do. And in addition, if I ever needed to take time off, nobody, guess what, knows how to do my job, so nobody did it. If there was an emergency, manager number 1, we're going to say, which is like direct supervisor to me, would do what she had to fix things. She knew generally where to find stuff to fix it, but for the most part, I'd come back from vacation and I'd have already a backlog from when I left, and it'd be increased, and I was constantly trying to play catch up. So what happened this spring is they took me away from manager number 1 and moved me to a new manager. So we're still going to just call her number 1, because meaning she's my first in line. And this person is extremely intelligent, but different communication style, completely different management style, and also doesn't know what I do. So in March, it made sense for our roles though, because we did work together a lot, for our roles to be together. So since March, she never sat down with me to see what I do. She never asked how I do things, where I track them, really much anything about my job that she is now in charge of. And the company to this date still has not made like the public announcement. They send out announcements all the time just to let you know changes, and they have not made this one publicly known. So new manager number 1 has not taken on all of the responsibility, meaning she has not taken on the things I view she thinks are below her, she doesn't want to do. She doesn't approve my time off, she doesn't sign off on my timesheet. She left that for old manager until it was official. So I, at this point, don't know who I'm supposed to be reporting to. So I started going to manager number 2. Manager number 2 is over. You know, that's like manager number 1's boss. So I started going to him because I don't know who I'm supposed to talk to. Again, went through, things are not working out. I can't do this much longer. We can't make changes. And for like the past 3 years, they've been promising, nope, we're going to increase resources, da 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 da. And manager number 3, who is the VP of this department, always put the kibosh on it. Nope. Meanwhile, other areas of the department continue to grow. So that's as much as I'm going to gripe. Well, okay, that's just to give you the background. So I am beyond frustrated. I've not received any support. It's been 7 years of me telling them there's more work than I can do. The last 2 to 3 years where I've really been pushing and I'm denied. And at the same time, I'm pushing, well, if you're not going to give me extra resources, at least bump me up. Give me, you know, I'm doing more than what you hired for. And, you know, like, give me a, not so much a salary raise, but like we get bonuses and other performance things based on where you are on the ladder. And I'm on the bottom of the ladder for this department. I'm like, move me up 1 step. They wouldn't do that either. So I started looking for a new job. Since we work in this rural area, it's very difficult to find a comparable job in my community. So to do so, I was looking outside to work outside if I left the company and found a job comparable, salary-wise, I would add in a commute, which many of you do. You're already like, yeah, it's part of working, you know, you do a commute, which, of course, you know, takes more gas money, vehicle repairs, but the salary would still not be to compensate. You know, I'm still going to start somewhere at the lowest level. I do, you know, administrative support type work. Even though I have 20 years experience, you don't get into those jobs at the top of the pay scale. Everybody puts you in at the bottom. So it was a thought. So I'd always come back and be like, nope, the good things about this position in this company. Finally, a position opened up within the company. So I accepted a position within the company in a different department. And it is completely different. So I applied, interviewed, was offered, and I accepted it. And I accepted this at the end of May. I can tell I'm already going longer than take 1 or 2. So at the end of May, I accepted this position, went to manager number 2, because I don't know who my manager number 1 is, because nobody wants to claim me, and said, you know, basically, here's a 2-week notice. I'm going to take this new position. I did not get released from my old position until last week, Friday. 10 weeks from when I put in my notice. The company, and most companies I think do that, if you stay internally, they kind of hold you back. They want you to train someone. They might keep you for maybe a month instead of 2 weeks. From HR in the beginning, they told me a month is the longest they'd let me stay there. Obviously that changed. And the upside is I didn't lose. You know, basically I got to stay at my same rate of pay. And this new position actually paid more. I got a pay raise going to it. So I've been in one position for 12 years. And now I'm entry level in a different department and I'm already getting paid more. We'll just leave that where it is. And I was going to say, oh, so I did, you know, that was a good thing. And I didn't lose like my benefits. So there's a plus side staying within a company. But for 10 weeks, they dragged me along. And during that time, nobody sat down with me. They've all said they don't know my jobs. Nobody sat down to find out what it is, to get my input on a replacement, to hire, how to do, you know, how to even write a job description. So they had trouble finding someone because of what they decided the job was, which is not, let's just say if I had seen this job description when I was job hunting, I wouldn't have felt qualified to apply for the job. I'm already doing the job. So they just like couldn't find people, kept holding me like week at a time. In the meantime, my new position, they needed me. They had an opening. They needed me to start. They did not hire me and expect me to be gone this long. So I started doing both jobs. So for the past 2 months, I have been working limited hours, like 4 hours a day at the old job and 6 hours a day training at the new job. I thought I'd be doing this for 2 weeks. I did it for 2 months. And it got to the point where I was close to having a panic attack, anxiety attack, nervous breakdown. I don't know what the label would be, but I could feel myself about to mentally lose it and had to talk myself back. And I'm frustrated at my new job because I should be able to do these tasks. And I can't because I've not been fully trained, let alone consistently. And then I have to switch my brain to the old job, which is completely different. So I'm getting frustrated there. I'm feeling held back. I can't do my old job in 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours, because I couldn't do it in 8 hours and nobody stepped in to pick up the slack. So me feeling responsible because I put this on myself, I am burning myself out and feeling frustrated. So manager number 2, I kept communicating with him. He'd apologize and just kind of string me along a week at a time. Let's go 1 more week, see what happens. And he's told me, if you are ever to the point where we are keeping you from succeeding at your new job, let me know, let HR know, and then we have to let you go. I reached that point last week. I went and told him so. I broke down in tears, which is not something I do. I'm, not that I don't feel and emotional, but I usually can keep it together and have my moments in private, especially at work. I really try not to. It's a job. I don't let it, for the most part, get to me that point. But by now I am not sleeping well because I am so stressed. I can't fall asleep at night, so I'm not getting sleep. I'm frustrated that I can't do my new job and I feel like I'm not helping them. I'm frustrated I can't do my current job because there's not enough time and I have no support. And I honestly was at the point of a breakdown, and I'm sitting across from him in tears and telling him this, that you are keeping me from succeeding. I can't focus on my new job. I'm not being a benefit to them. I'm at the point where I'm going to have a panic attack, and I've had to physically walk away in both positions to like clear my head because I was about to break out into tears. And he's sitting there, and I have to go talk to manager number 3. Let me see what I can do for you. I think he wanted to let me go. Manager number 3, the VP, refused. And it's disappointing because he portrays himself as a very Christian, family-orientated, caring about people person. But at the end of the day, this department didn't matter about the people. In my case, it didn't matter about me. He only cared, and he was convinced, or is still convinced, and it's true, that my position was critical to customer relations, which is why they won't let me go, and why they kept dragging me along so far. And convinced my new supervisors of this, so they're just like, okay, well, whenever we can get her, we get her. So they weren't fighting for me. And it's ironic because I'm so critical. You have no one that can provide backup. You've never given me the recognition of any type. You know, I've asked to be moved up on the ladder and you've told me no. So I have a hard time feeling that. I just feel like I'm being taken advantage of. And what's difficult for me is this isn't the first time I've let this happen. And I hear my dad, at one point I went through a really, really ugly separation from a company. And I still don't think, I know I didn't do anything wrong. I reported behavior in other people that was wrong, and I was the one that was more or less pushed to leave. And that was, again, extremely stressful. And I remember talking with my dad, and he's like, well, at what point is it you? I mean, he was being kind. I mean, he wasn't trying to be mean, but he was just like, well, you know, it seems in these situations, the common denominator is you. So, you know, it's me. Am I, again, because I live in a world where the sky is purple, I expect managers to support me, I expect companies that I invest my life in, you know, my time, my energy, to care about me as a person. And when I tell you I can't do something anymore, that they'd actually care, or they would step up, and if I've not done the wrong thing, support me and not push me out. Or if you're my manager, you would know how to do my job, at least to cover for me, to be able to fill in until someone's hired and train them. I'm the exception. I don't know where I got that notion, but I have yet to find an employer that is the same thought process. So maybe it is me. Maybe I expect too much, but... So last Friday, I'm in tears at the point of a breakdown, and I'm told I can't leave. I'm told that even though they're holding me back, they're forcing me to stay. And they, at that point, had a temp hired to cover my position. And they've decided I only needed 3 days to train a temp to do my job. Different, whole nother story. And I had to do it. And even though I'm in tears, crying, I sat across from manager number 2, and he told me, I can see you're frustrated. Don't start swearing at me or walk out, because I'll be forced to fire you. You have to come and train this person. So I did. I don't understand why they would want someone to train somebody else when you're this frustrated and dissatisfied, but I did it. And this isn't the new person's, you know, my temp. She was amazing, by the way, and she and I are so similar, and we both ramble and talk, and we train the same, and I hope things work out. The good thing is she's hired through a temp agency, so her boss is the temp agency, and she told me, she's like, I didn't tell her the nitty-gritty details, I just kind of let her know. She's my age, she's been through very similar situations, and she came to me and said, I don't think this is gonna fit. She goes, there's a bad feeling in this place, I can feel there's not support. She goes, I don't think this is gonna be the fit for me either. So she and I need to find jobs in the world where the sky is purple, because that's what we need. But she was gonna give it a go, but you know, she's through the temp agent. She says if it doesn't work out, I tell my boss at the temp agency and they pull me. So I was finally released. They signed me off. I specifically went into HR and asked, can they force me to come back? Because now I'm like, oh my gosh, what if the temp decides, nope, I'm not even putting up with this for a week? HR basically said it's my discretion. They would probably ask me, and I suppose to be politically goodwill. But at this point, I honestly don't care. I wouldn't want to go back to that department. So we'll see what the future has for me there. I don't really know. It's been a really tough summer, friends. A really tough summer. I had to stop and start because seriously, I was at 30 minutes and I haven't even... I deleted the first video because it was too negative, and now here I've just gone off. But those of you that wanted to listen will be listening, and the other people, it's okay. You don't have to listen. So I've had a really, really bad summer. And what's equally frustrating is I just realized they stole my whole summer. I had like zero free time. In the summer, I love to do water exercise. It's like the one exercise I can do that my body doesn't hurt. You know, I used to love to go walking for exercise, and my knees are so bad because I'm so overweight. I can't even go for walks anymore without just being in pain. So water exercise I can do, and I haven't been able to do it. Normally that's my summer thing. I can go, like, they have classes every day, Monday through Friday, in the morning and at night. Because of the schedule, I have not gone once. And now the pool closes, whole nother story. But yeah, totally missed out this summer. My healthy choices, out the window. I'm proud of myself because considering what I've been dealing with, food is always I've talked about this, I think, in my I forget what it was. I did a video with Dina where we talked about being fat ruined my life. Anyway, food is what I've used my whole life as I'm an emotional eater. If I'm stressed, if I'm happy, if I'm tired, if I'm bored, I go to food. I use it, I self-medicate myself with food. And I know at this job I left, I was eating all the time. I'd be like the grazer all day long, would have something out, and it was just trying to calm myself. So it's a miracle I haven't gained weight. But my food prep, my healthy food, healthy choices, not at all a focus. Survival mode completely, and I hope to get back on track. I'm not hoping, I will be back on track. And miraculously, I did not gain weight. I would still weigh in. I used to weigh in on Snapchat every week and like give people an update. And I kind of just quit because I kept going up and down the same 5 pounds because I wasn't focusing on it. So I haven't gained, but I mean, last year I started out really well and I lost 20 pounds and then I never moved. I'd gain and lose the same 5 pounds for almost a full year. So I didn't gain that back. I'm still at that 20-pound mark, and I know I will be back on track, and I'm excited because I'm going to share that with everyone again on Snapchat and stuff, doing my food prep and sharing my meals and sharing how I'm doing, because that helps me stay motivated. And I know some of you the same way. We kind of motivate each other. It's a constant struggle for me. I will never be thin, but I would like to be thinner so I can take some of the stress off of my body, off my joints, especially, so I can be more active. But, so yeah, I've missed out. I mean, all of that got put aside, and to know I put in this much of my heart and soul and time into a position, into a department, and at the end of the day, they didn't care about me at all. It's very sad, and I should know better because it's happened to me before. But I can't not do that. Can you guys relate? I mean, am I truly the exception? Is that not? I mean, I know everybody's replaceable. I'm not saying I wasn't replaceable, but to have so much lack of support, and when, you know, the poop hits the fan, and for me to expect them to care or to make the changes and then not, that's not who I am. In this new position, I know, just because of how the company is set up, I'm not going to have managerial support again. It's going to be the same thing from the managerial level, but the difference is I am a part of a team. So the new position, I haven't even told you guys. So I now am going to be working, I'm going to be a night shift girl, and I cannot wait. I've just finally started this week then. I worked over the weekend. It was my weekend to work. So I am working 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. at my new position, and I'm ecstatic already. I love it. I have no idea what I'm doing because it's a completely different position, but I'm going to have more free time because in this job, I work still, it's in an office, and there's 2 other people, so there's 3 of us that work on a shift, and I work with these 2 gentlemen that are amazing. They're calm, they're, you know, we just are here to do our job, they're fun, they're so supportive and understanding, and I can already tell we're a team. They've been helping me out mostly, but at the point when I actually know what I'm doing, I'm going to be able to help them out. And the beauty of this job, just because of the nature of the department, when I leave my shift at 6 a.m., I get to leave it behind. If there's something I didn't finish, or, you know, if it didn't get done, the person that comes in after me, they'll take care of it. And, you know, the same goes if there's something they don't get done when I come in, I might have to clean something up or work on something. But the work doesn't wait for me. It's like it has to be done. So it's like when I'm done, I'm done. So when I'm done and I have my days off, I have my days off. I'll be working, it's not like a Monday through Friday anymore. Anyone that's worked like shift work, it's the same shift, but I'll like work 2 days, have 2 days off, work 3 days, have 2 days off, kind of like that. So I'll have days off in the middle of the week. I will be working every other weekend, which is not a problem. Eddie's in my life. It's been very rare through the past year where he's actually been home on a whole weekend. So we will probably see more of each other than we have, because I was working 10-hour days, 5 days a week. And when I was home on the weekend, I was exhausted. And this was before I started the new job. So it's going to take some adjusting. But in the long run, it's going to work much better for me. So I'm very, very excited about that. Because normally I don't fall asleep or I don't get tired till like 2 in the morning. And that's when I go to bed. So for me to get to my job, my old job at 9 was a stretch sometimes. So it'll be good. Very excited about it. Like I said, it's a team environment, at least within those I immediately work with, which is more than I had. I had some great people at my old job. Miss Sarah, most of you know Sarah because she's been on videos here. She and I sat right next to each other, and we were in the same department team, but she and I did such different things, we couldn't even really help each other that much. So it's going to all just be different in a good way. Yay. Otherwise, this summer, what did I do? Oh, so first week of June, I did a speedy trip to Florida, there and back. Those of you that I would normally try and see along the way, I've probably already talked to you, but I apologize that this was not a visiting trip. My grandma's health was on a downswing, and I knew with the job changes, if I didn't go at that moment, I might not get to go. So I took a laptop with me so I could keep working and drove down there, spent time with Grandma. She had just turned 93 the end of May. This is my mom's mom, and she and I have a very close relationship. And I didn't know. I was not able to see her over the holidays. Normally I go in January. Anytime between December through February. Kim and I did this together. Oh yeah, I should probably finish those videos. It's been over a year since our trip and I haven't finished posting those. But I wasn't able to go. It just didn't work out between work schedules and finances. So Eddie and I made it work so I could go. I get down there. Grandma's a little bit stubborn. And she was doing okay. She had declined a lot since I'd seen her in over a year. And she's now living in a full care nursing home. Mentally, she is sharp as a tack. She knows everything. I mean, she's not having any mental memory type issues. Her body is 93 and it's had a tough life. So she's pretty much confined to her bed. But I get there and we talk, and the next day I went to visit her and she tells me, well, I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning and I decided I'm not ready to die. I said, go Grandma. So at one point when she was feeling pretty poorly, she was ready. And, you know, I had talked to my aunt and told her that I've had a good life talk and all that kind of stuff, which made me want to get down there. So Grandma could still be there for many visits. It's really hard for me because she's kind of, I mean, I have my aunts and uncles, but she's like the direct connection yet with my mom, if that makes sense. You know, she gave birth to my mom. And I'm going to get emotional here because you guys know how much I miss my mom and dad. And when it's Grandma's time, it's going to be really hard on me. Because since I was a kid, I spent so much time with her. And she's my hero. And she has had not an easy life. And she has made it through and taught me so much. And every time when I do see her in Florida, and when I have to say goodbye, I know it might be my last time that I see her. I mean, I mentally have to accept that when I say goodbye. So when I get the chance to see her again, it's like the greatest gift. So I got to see her. I got to spend time with her. That was wonderful. And I pray that I will see her again this side of heaven. So that was, I mean, I didn't do much. I didn't do touristy stuff in Florida. I did my normal, there's places I go where Mom and I spent time together. So I came right back, got right back into work. In July, we had a family vacation planned with Eddie's family to the Black Hills in South Dakota. And when I accepted the new position, I told the family that I would probably not be able to go because I expected I'd be in a new role and I didn't want to like just start a new job and within a month take time off. But since the old job was still holding me back and I was very much stressed out, I said, well, I'm taking vacation for a week. And I did. And it was good. We had rented a house and it was Eddie and I, his parents, his sister and her husband, and his brother from Texas came up. And we had this house and we would get up and go do some touristy stuff. We'd come back to the house, eat lunch. There would be maybe a second activity that some of them went. Eddie and I usually stayed back in the afternoon because we both just needed time to unwind. That's what we needed our vacation for. So it was really nice. That's where we did our live. If you caught us out here, we did a live Truth Be Told Tuesday and had so much fun. I had no idea how easy it was to do and how much fun it was. So we are planning to do another one of those at the end of the month, but I will let everybody know the exact date and time. We're hoping to do it with some special guests. So I just need to get that organized. But we will be doing that. And vacation was good. And otherwise, my life has just been work. So that's where I've been. I've rambled and rambled. I have some of my iced coffee from McDonald's. And I'm not going to edit anything out. Because again, most people have probably clicked off by now. Or you're probably at least done in the bathroom. But I don't like to put negative content out because it's kind of why you don't catch me cussing, swearing very often. I don't care if anybody else does. I don't judge anybody. For me personally, it's kind of like I just feel there's so much negativity and ugliness in the world that if I can do anything to not perpetuate it or contribute to it, at least I feel better about myself. It doesn't mean I judge you if you're cuss like a sailor, because I have several of my friends that do. It's just something it's not a habit of mine. And publicly, like the negative stuff, I try to keep out of the public because I get accused of playing the victim, and that ties to a whole different chapter of my life I've not shared out here. But I'm not trying to play a victim here. I was in a difficult situation. I accept that I let myself get in that situation for the most part. I allowed them to take advantage of me, so I shouldn't have been surprised that they continued to do so when I said I wanted to leave, and that they didn't care about me. I shouldn't be surprised. I still was, because I was under the impression they actually cared about me as a person. So the good news is I'm out of there. They can't pull me back. I'm in a new position that I enjoy. I feel completely over my head because even the computer system, they use it in a different way. So it's like everything I've learned in over 12 years in my first job, none of it pulls over to this new job. And there's so many times they're like, oh, well, you know where this is, or you know how to do this. And I'm like, no. And they're probably like, why did they hire this girl? But I'll get there. And that's where it's just been so long since I've been new in a position that I need to give myself a break. I can't be expected to know everything right away. And even if they show it to me once, they don't expect me to know it after one time. And I'm very hard on myself because I want to be an asset to them. I know they're short-staffed and they have to cover for me because, again, the work has to be done during our shift. So I'm not pulling my weight, and I got a lot of weight to pull. So I just want to be helpful and to be able to do my job. And I'm not there. But I need to be patient with myself. As I was training this new person, it was funny because I was telling her the things, and I'm like, I should be telling myself this, you know. Because we were so similar, I could tell she was just frustrated already and feeling she should know stuff, and I'm like, no, don't, you're okay. It's okay. So, I'll get there, and they keep telling me, you know, a year from now, you're going to be laughing that you, like, didn't know this, or it's going to be such second nature. So, I'll get there. So that's all. That's where I've been. My summer's been at work. I've just been working and trying to stay sane. And yeah, so thank you. You guys, when things were like spiraling and spiraling, I might have a moment and I'd pull up on my phone where I could just read comments, and I'd read a few. And you have no idea how they helped me get through. How they helped me refocus and find the joy and the blessings. Because I truly believe no matter what we are facing in life, and so many of you are right now, like I said, I know I am fortunate to have a job. Friends of you don't. You've been laid off. You were fired. You just haven't been able to find a job. There's those of you, I have friends who are in California that were evacuated. They don't know if they have a home anymore because of the fires. There are people that, you know, have life-threatening illnesses they're dealing with, or loved ones they're caring for. I mean, to having work problems for me, you know, in the scheme of things, I mean, there are so many. I am still fortunate. And if I've learned anything, and it's something that my mom instilled in me, there's always something to be thankful for. There's always a blessing. Sometimes we have to really look for it, and if we need to put on our rose-colored glasses, if we need to dig and search, they're still there. And you were my silver lining. You were what brought me joy when I would be home at night in tears, not knowing how I could even pretend to get through the next day with what would be ahead of me. I'd read your comments. They'd make me smile, and they'd make me know that somebody cares about me. My employer doesn't. But I have people that do. And that's really all that matters. Is I have to have a job so I can survive. So I can pay my bills. So I can... I've always said I hate that money dictates so much of our lives. I don't want to be rich monetarily. I don't want stuff. It's just stuff. I just want to be able to survive, and money just dictates so much of our lives, and I don't like that. But thank you. I've gone almost a full hour now, so I should probably turn this off. But please know that when I was at those lowest points, and I could hear my mom telling me, count the blessings, your name popped into my head. Those of you that I've seen your face was there, playing in my head as the blessing. And I can tell you, as I do in every video, that you matter. And I just pray that just one iota of the amount of feeling I have about how much you do matter comes through. Because I cannot possibly convey in words or actions how much you do and how much you impact my life. I have friends out here, you've never commented, and I'm not asking for comments, I'm just saying, you know, maybe we've never actually talked in emails or through social media. You still matter to me. You make my life better, and I don't take that for granted. Each and every one of you are my friends, are my family. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your life with me and letting me share mine with you. Because in the scheme of things, in my world where the sky is purple, we make a difference and we matter. So I need to go because I'm starting to cry and I just should get going. I've talked long enough, so I will be back out here and much more consistent. So thank you for your patience and your friendship. I love you more than you will ever know. Thank you.